Hump Day, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to the VA Dallas Cowboy fan channel. Today, we have our Hump Day news coming in from our venerable leader, head coach, Mike McCarthy. And there has been some other talks outside of the Cowboys regarding fight with the coaches over on the Giants. And DeAndre Baker, I know a lot of us said at least have a cup of coffee, look at him, but it looks as though Kansas City has already signed him and going to snatch him up to their practice squad. Lucky them, they only get stronger. The coaches in New York is Joe Judge and offensive line coach Mark Colombo. As you know, Mark Colombo was a former Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman back in the day. He was one of Jason Garrett's picks to coaching staff in New York. And apparently, Joe Judge assigned an advisor to back him up on the offensive line. And I guess he took it as a slight that his job was in jeopardy. So he kind of went at the Joe Judge, and it ended up Judge just firing him. Hey, I mean, he got his job as our offensive line coach when we had to fire our old line coach who thought the offensive line should be able to know how to get ketchup out of a bottle. Remember that fool? He didn't last long. He tried to reset the whole offensive line philosophy, and it blew up in our face. So they got rid of him. Mark Colombo was upgraded. He went back to the old ways of the teaching, and the offensive line regained their status at the time. Other news, I'm seeing some talk bandied about Jalen Smith taking a pay cut this coming off season. I don't know if that's going to be a real thing that's going to happen, or if there's just talk of that now because of his bad play on the field. If it does get bandied about and they do ask him to take a pay cut, I'm not sure what's going to happen, because he may not take it. I mean, y'all didn't seem to care when y'all gave him the money, and now you're talking about taking it back off of a couple years of regression. Y'all should have thought of that before you gave him all that money. This is why businessmen aren't football guys, because y'all keep giving these players money when they haven't had sustained success. You can't keep giving these guys money, and then they're not living up to it. You're looking stupid because you're going to have to come back and restructure and change it. That's how we got in salary cap hell, because y'all just don't know what the hell to do with money. You really don't. But coming in from Mike McCarthy, he had his press conference. We have Andy Dalton and Tyrone Crawford both going to be activated off the COVID-19 lists. So they will be activated and ready to go for Minnesota on Sunday. We knew that was coming because they both, Andy Dalton was already seen back at practice yesterday. Now Tyrone Crawford will be activated as well. Trayvon Diggs will officially be put on the injury reserve list. More than likely will be the short-term IR. So he will be eligible to return this year, but if it's a 6-week injury, they might just shut him down for the rest of the season, even though they're going to have that time. But it's probably not even going to be worth it this year. He was making great strides, even though, he had his rookie up and downs, but he still made up for it. Brandon Knight was seen back at practice today. So we will have the 21-day practice window opened for him to return to the lineup. And if he does, I hope to God they put him in over Terrence Steele, because Jesus Christ, he's way better than Terrence Steele right off the bat. So we'll have to see what their lineup combinations will be heading into the future if he does come back healthy. Tyler Biadasz, they know he's making progress, but they don't know if he's made it so far as to get back into game action. They'll have to see later in the week how the offensive line combinations are going to go before they make a decision. More than likely, he'll still be held out. Let's see. Returned defensive lineman Rondell Carter. He's getting praise from Mike McCarthy. Hence, that's why we picked him up in the first place out of JMU. He was one of the highest undrafted free agent rookies getting paid coming out because they saw something in him. Unfortunately, he terminated his contract and decided to join the Colts and be activated from there. He didn't make too much of a splash. They inevitably cut him, and the Cowboys decided to swoop him back up because they see talent in him and they hope he can help their defensive line rotations going forward. I hope so as well. And next up, our recently signed defensive lineman, Braylon Speaks. He's 24 years old. He's 6'3", 285 pounds. He was drafted in 2018 in the second round by the Kansas City Chiefs. He missed 2019 due to a knee injury, and from there he was cut by the Chiefs. He landed on the Las Vegas Raiders practice squad, but inevitably was cut off of there too. And we have picked him up. In total, he has 24 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 2 fumble recoveries. Some people say he was cut because of Kansas City's depth across the defensive line. Others say it's because he showed up out of shape and not ready to play. And but he did receive praise by his owner and GM who drafted him. So hopefully he could be like David Irvin and we could pick him up and he'll turn the corner and be very productive for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll just have to see in time how that's going to shake out. But that's it for today's Hump Day news. Wasn't too much going into it. They're getting ready to pack up and head out to Minnesota. So they're not going to really have too much news or too many, big practices going on right now. Coming back off the bye week. Hopefully they've learned some things. They've changed some things up. I'm hoping with the extra bye time, these defensive coaches had more time to interact with their players and, try to get them onto the same page, because that was the problem. They claimed it earlier as bad communication, that they didn't know what they were doing. Well, you've had 2 weeks now to have a little more time to get used to it. So hopefully we can see a change, and hopefully Andy Dalton, now that he's got the playbook back, he can open it up a little bit more. And with a more stable offensive line, he could do more things. We'll have to see. You never know. We still have a shot at the division, and we still have a shot at a top 5 draft pick. So either way it goes, it seems like the Cowboys are going to win. That's what I got for y'all today. If anything else happens, we'll talk about it. Till then, take care, stay safe, happy Hump Day, and VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out.